Hello, welcome back to the mining series. This episode, as you can probably tell, I'm a bit excited for this episode because I am done with two parts of the series and I don't have to worry about them ever again. Number one is going to be the forge because I already forged myself a 655. Now the next thing that I have to worry about is going to be a Divan's alloy and then getting myself the Divan's drill. So I never have to worry about forge again. The next thing that I never have to worry about is going to be Heart of the Mountain tier 10 because I already got it, as you can tell here. The only thing that I have to worry about now is going to be powder, and I don't have to worry about mithril or gemstone powder anymore. It's only glaciite powder that I have to worry about. Alright? Now, if you're new to the channel and you haven't watched the series, I would highly recommend you check it out, first of all. And second of all, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. I grind a block game for unhealthy amounts of hours. I post guides, I post flips videos sometimes, and I also am doing a mining series, as you can tell. And once the mining series is done, I'm going to start another series. Maybe farming, maybe combat, I'm not sure. But we'll see whenever the mining series is done. But for now, let's go over the 655 first. So the 655, I have it reforged, recombobulated with all perfect gems, flow state 3, compact 6, efficiency 10. Yes, I know, a bit of an overkill. Experience 4, fortune 4, paleontologist 5, prismatic 5, as well as perfectly cut fuel tank and Sunnyside Goblin Egg Part. The only thing that I don't have on it is a drill engine. Now, I could have not gone for fancy enchants and instead gone for a drill engine, an amber polished drill engine specifically. And as you can tell, the amber polished drill engines are going for a whopping 175 million coins right now. So the goals for this episode is number one, getting myself an amber polished drill engine. And I'm going to be using the flips that I mentioned in my flipping video in the background, as well as mining methods. So I'm going to be mining different ores to see which one is going to make me more money, and then I'm going to continue on the one that makes me the most amount of money. The second goal for this episode is going to be forging this thing called the Relic of Power. Now this is going to be a little more difficult because it's going to be a little more expensive, but as you can tell, it requires glaciite. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it requires 32 of these and a perfect plate, as well as an artifact of power. So the artifact of power isn't too difficult to get. If I check the crafting recipe right here, artifact of power, and you check here, so it's actually just 32 gemstone mixtures, which is going to cost around 50 million coins, as you can see here. And then it also requires a ring of power. That one is also extremely cheap. We can probably get that pretty easily. But yeah, those two are going to be the goals for this episode. And if you didn't know what Relic of Power is basically this talisman that lets you put every type of gemstone inside of it and get all of the effects of those gemstones. So the most important part of this is getting the topaz gemstone and getting ourselves the pristine, because as you may already know, the mining update has nerfed the pristine quite a bit. As you can tell, I have about 13 pristine, whereas before I would have had about 15 pristine. So right now I have 13 pristine because they nerfed the pristine enchant, turned it into prismatic. Now it gives half as much as pristine. And then they've also added a pristine perk to the Heart of the Mountain, which requires glaciite powder, which is the only type of powder that I'm missing from my Heart of the Mountain tree. So I'm gonna have to get myself a Relic of Power for more pristine. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into the episode. Alright, here we are with the first update. It's been a few days now. I've grinded some powder, I've grinded some heartstone, as well as flipped. I used the flips that I mentioned in my flipping video. The only flip that I used that wasn't in my video was probably this, the Dwarven Base Camp Travel Scroll. So this, you can buy a flawless onyx gemstone, which if you buy the flawed version and then convert it into fine and then convert it into flawless, is gonna be around like 1.5 million coins. And then if you get the enchanted ender pearls and the 500,000, you basically pay like 2 million coins for this, and you can sell it for 4 mil. Yeah, so it's 4.5 mil. So I did 7 of these and got myself like a really good amount of money. That's like almost 15 mil. So it's pretty nice, and they sell pretty quickly. As you can see here, this one just sold. That got me all the way to around 204 million coins, which is a bit of an overkill, I know. But the reason for that is because The prices of amber polished drill engines for some reason have completely skyrocketed from 175 mil to 200 mil. So I'm just gonna party this guy and see if he's willing to let me lowball it, because then I'll have to spend less money. Alright, so this guy's letting me lowball it for 195 mil instead of 200 mil, which is nice. Yep, I guess I'll get it. And let's go ahead and put it on. Finally got the titanium drill completely maxed out pretty much, except for the Divan's powder coating, of course. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, I got 2500 mining speed now, which is nice. It's gonna help me out a lot. And yeah, we are pretty much good to go. So now the only thing that I have left is gonna be the Relic of Power right here. So I need 100 mil here. I need like 40 mil here. So that's 140 mil already. And then this one, the net worth value is around 50 mil. So I'm guessing it's gonna cost a little more than that to craft. So it's going to be around another 200 mil here. We'll see how that goes. Let's go ahead and keep on grinding money for the Relic of Power. I am back. Back again. Anyway, so I did a bit of powder grinding, and the reason for that is because they just released a tiny update where they reverted the powder rates back to what they were the first day they released the update. So they didn't actually revert back the amount of powder that you get from treasure chests, but they did revert back the weight of the powder, which is basically the chances of spawning powder in the treasure chests. So I got myself some powder, and I got myself Core of the Mountain tier 6, and I'm going for 7 soon. So my money making method right now is just to powder mine, and if I find a fairy grotto, which is a place where Jasper spawns, if I find a fairy grotto, I'll be mining Jasper with my drill and my Divan armor, of course. But if I don't find one, I'll just be mining powder. And right now I have 50 million coins, as you can see, so I'm gonna try and get myself the Artifact of Power. If I remember correctly, the Artifact of Power required like gemstone mixtures. It should be fine. Alright, Talisman of Power. Yay! Anyway, let's go ahead and get myself, what, 7 fine rubies? Alright, that should be like more than enough. Yeah, oh my god, that is quite an overkill. Alright, we need the gemstone mixture. Let's go ahead and buy that. I don't want to waste time. It's only 20k, it's fine. I'll insta-buy it, and let's go ahead and craft ourselves the Ring of Power. Yay! Now it is the big one, Artifact of Power. Alright, let's go ahead and set a buy order for 32 of these. Alright, yeah, that's exactly 51 mil. Wow, alright. That is exactly how much I had. Let's go ahead and sell some of my hardstone so that I get a little bit more money. Alright, 1.2 mil there, that's fine. And do I get any money from gemstones? Yeah, I do. I also filled up my sack with 80 fine jade gemstones because I wanted my sack to be filled so that all the jade will go into my inventory and then turn into fine. Because jade mining is one of my favorite methods of mining in general. I know it doesn't make too much money. It made like 50 mil an hour without the amber polished drill engine when I was trying it, with all of the perks maxed out and like pristine perk and everything. But I think once I get the Artifact of Power and put a perfect topaz in it, I'm going to be able to make upwards of like 20 mil an hour from jade mining, which would be really nice actually. That's what, again, as I said, that's one of my favorite money making methods in the game, is to just jade mine.
Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, I know that jade mining is not the best way to mine, is actually one of the worst ways to mine and make money, but it is one of my favorite ways and it's easy to set up, so I'll be doing a lot of that, and that's going to be my main money making method, even for getting the alloy.
But as far as powder goes, I'm sitting at a solid 16 million powder, which is pretty insane. But it's really nice actually. I like it. I like having the mobility of like being able to upgrade multiple perks at once. And this looks really nice, by the way. This like Heart of the Mountain tree, like all of it is almost maxed out. But yeah, the hardest thing for me is going to be glacial powder in terms of mining stats. Considering that next episode I'm going to be getting a Divan's drill, I'm going to be trying to max out my mining as much as I can. So powder, equipment, maybe even glossy mineral armor. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see next episode. But for now, I'm setting up a buy order for all of these. I got 21 of them filled. 11 of them did not. I'm going to put another buy order for them. All right, there we go. As you can see, the order has filled. Let's go ahead and craft ourselves the Artifact of Power. there it is. Let's go ahead and keep on grinding for now.
And back to grinding it was indeed. So I decided to go ahead and put up a buy order for 32,000 flawed topaz gemstones, which cost me around 9 million coins. And it saved me a lot of money, because if I had to insta buy the perfect topaz, it would have been 15 million coins. So that is 6 million coins saved right there, which is pretty nice. It's always nice to save coins. It's obviously going to take longer, because I have to wait for the order to fill and then convert them into fine and then flawless and then forge the perfect topaz. Now the topaz also requires the topaz crystal, the perfect topaz, and as you can see right here in the chat, I got the message of getting the topaz crystal. So I have everything ready, I just need the buy order to fill. And now obviously I don't want to waste any time, so I just cut to a clip of when it is already filled and the flawless gemstones are already ready to be forged. Now the perfect plate, which is another thing that we need for the relic of power, it requires a tungsten plate, an umber plate, and a mithril plate, all of which are gonna cost me a total of around 36 million coins at this point. And insta buying the perfect plate would be 40 million coins, and it only takes like 21 minutes to forge, so it's not that big of a deal at all. But the next thing that we needed was the glaciite amalgamations. We need 32 glaciite amalgamations, as you can see here. So that requires enchanted glaciite and the fine version of each gemstone type in the glaciite tunnels, which I'm not going to grind for that myself. I'm obviously just going to grind money and then buy it off of Bazaar because it's easier. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut to the next update.
Alright, here we are, and the perfect topaz is done, and I have been mining some Jade, because that's my favorite way of mining, as I mentioned. I have quite a bit of it right here. So as you can see, I turned them into flawless because flawless sells for more. I might actually turn them into perfects, but that depends, because this video is already taking too long to record anyway, so I might not go to perfects, but flawless is the least I'm gonna go to. But for now, let's go ahead and put the topaz into the artifact of power and get the extra pristine that we needed. There we go, 1 extra pristine from the artifact of power. That should be nice. Let's go ahead and put it in our accessory bag. All right, and then let's check our pristine now. Okay, so I'm at 14.2 pristine. That is actually not bad, because I used to be at 15 pristine before the update dropped. So this is actually close, and it's not bad at all. 8,000 mining speed, which is really nice, and 1,600 mining fortune, which is also really nice. Yeah, but let's go ahead and keep on grinding for now. Alright, so I mined a little bit, and by a little bit I mean just about this much. Yeah, 43 million gemstone has been mined, so I have some gems in my 13th backpack over here. As you can tell, I have 5 flawless jade, and then these are perfects. Yes, I forged perfects, and there's 8 of them. There are items in the auction house as well. So let's go ahead and put up a sell order for the flawless first, and then we'll put up a sell order for the perfects. And then we will collect the auctions, all of the Reaper Falchions, the Garmu artifact, which comes out to be around 51.8 million coins. Let's go ahead and collect that. That's very nice, very satisfying. All of that is amazing. But for now, let's go ahead and collect our auctions if they do sell. And by auctions, I obviously mean sell orders. Now, while we're waiting for the sell orders to fill, I'm just going to go over what we have gone through so far. So I started this series at Heart of the Mountain Tier 6, which is the very beginning of mid-game when it comes to mining in Hypixel Skyblock. Now, I had to get myself Heart of the Mountain Tier 7, I had to get myself 4 mil powder, and I used the money from the powder to flip a little bit and got myself a maxed out Divan armor. Now, using that Divan armor, I tried to mine for money. However, I realized that it wasn't enough, so I had to go a step further and take my powder to the next level. I got to 8 mil powder, and that's when I actually started to grind glaciite tunnels. This is back when you could still do glaciite commissions with the gemstone gauntlet.
I did Glacial commissions until Heart of the Mountain tier 9, and then they nerfed the gemstone gauntlet, which has led me to having to forge the 655 as quickly as possible. And I did that and used the 655 to get myself Heart of the Mountain tier 10, which is where I'm sitting at right now. I have a maxed out 655, Amber Polished Drill Engine, Sunnyside Goblin Egg, and a perfectly cut fuel tank, as well as great enchants on it. The only enchant that I don't have on it is Lapidary, which is the new enchant added for gemstone fortune and mining speed. So starting off with a gemstone gauntlet and sorrow armor, now here we are 9 episodes later, and I'm all the way to getting myself a maxed out 655 as well as the best mining talisman in the entire game. I want to appreciate you guys for watching this series. I want to appreciate the support that I've been getting for this series. It's one of the reasons why I continued this series. I would have probably quit this series if it wasn't for you guys. So again, I really appreciate this. I am also on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so it would really mean a lot if you could just scroll down a little bit and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. I will see you in the next episode. Peace.